Welcome to our brand new season of Unleashing Your Potential with myself, Coach Toriso. The show where it's all about unlocking your potential and enhancing your way of living. So today in the studio, we are talking about healthy mind, healthy body. And for that, we've got two amazing, phenomenal coaches in the studio to unpack this topic. So stay tuned. Welcome, my coaches, amazing, phenomenal coaches. Welcome to the studio. Please introduce yourself.
Thank you so much, Coach, for having us. It's lovely to be here.
Yeah.
I am Coach Connie. My name is Connie Paswana. I am an NLP life coach. I studied both neurosemantics and neurolinguistic programming. And that's solely because I'm fascinated about the brain,
Okay.
you know, the power of the mind.
Okay.
So, and to understand why people do things the way that they do and why they behave the way they do. So that's what caught me. And I think I also felt the need to change people's lives since I've realized the power that the mind has.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. Happy feet. Hello.
Hi, hello, Teresa. Thanks so much for inviting me here. So my name is Mungee and I am Happy Fit. Okay, so I am a fitness coach. I help people to actually live a very happy and fit life. Because there is really a connection between somebody who's happy and somebody who's fit. Connie is saying, is talking more about the mind here, and I'm thinking that really when one is fit, it's not just about the body, it's also about the mind, and the body and the exercises that I help people do, they actually help people to be more into their bodies and their heart and be able to have a mentally fit as an overall.
Okay, great. Do you guys have a personal experience to be where you are now? Is it something that you've always wanted to be as a happy fit? Or maybe you were obese before and you conquered that and you decided, I can be a fitness coach. Or it is something that maybe it's always been in you?
I've never been a bigger person.
Right.
I've been just like a very thin. But my journey or my story as being a fitness coach, I am a self-taught person. I never went to school.
Okay.
So one day I woke up, I found out that I am very depressed. I was at the gym the other time after an hour of working out on a particular day. It was a Thursday, and I cried at the shower. I cried not because the session was too long or was too much and everything. I cried because I could tell that I am losing the person that I'm supposed to be. So there was a lot of things that were happening. There were a lot of yeses that I gave out to people. And these yeses, you can give them to your family members, to your boyfriends,
Sure.
to the people that you stay with, to the people at work. And you lose yourself in the process because the yeses that you give out are the yeses that you're supposed to take into you. So that's actually how. So I went into a mental hospital and I came back. That's where I actually saw that it's important when you exercise, doing burpees and any other exercise, you connect them. You don't just do with your body only, but you put your mind into it. You ask yourself many questions as you do. If you think that you cannot do a baby, what is it that you cannot do in real life? Because they go together. So that's what I do with my clients, that if you're doing a boxing, you're boxing, what is it that you are actually punching in front of you?
Sure.
What kind of problems are you punching? Because that's where actually I found out that that's the only way I can be able to survive not using depressant out of the mental hospital, is for me to be very intentional when I do the exercises. So that's all it came out about. Yeah, and so I taught myself on exercises and everything, and I'm like, wow, hang on. There are people who need these and people that are normally not so happy, and I want them to be happy and fit.
So it's a form of a therapy in a way.
It is.
Sounds like
Yeah.
it. Huh? Okay, great. Okay, Coach Connie, you as an NLP coach or mindset coach, were you always fascinated about the mind? But then what led you to be this specific NLP? There are many coaches out there.
Yeah.
Why did you decide to be an NLP coach?
So mine was not, like I say, a linear journey.
Yeah.
I didn't wake up one morning and say, I'm going to be a life coach or an NLP life coach for that matter, because I could easily say I didn't even know that at the time that I studied neurosemantics. I didn't even know that there is such a thing as a life coach at the time. So for me, it was just studying neurosemantics. I had to do a performance plan at work, and I had to do something, and I didn't know what to do. And I had met a lady who had told me about this, and I decided, let me give this a try. And I was hooked from that moment. Okay. And I just realized the power that we have as people, and yet we're not using it, because what I learned at that time was the fact that as people, we allow our minds to run us when it should be the other way around, when we should be the ones that are running our minds. And that for me was what took me. But in the same breath, it helped me, because in the process of my training, I then discovered who my dad was, because I didn't know my dad. And when I did, what is interesting is that I discovered that he stays 2 houses away from my grandmother's house, which is where I grew up. So I basically knew this man my whole life. I had met him, but I didn't know that he's my father. So I basically know my siblings, except I didn't know that these are my siblings.
Wow.
I know him, except that I didn't know that it... So I basically know my whole family, my whole paternal family, except I didn't know that I belong there. Yeah. And when I found out, it crushed me. Yeah. It you know, it's one moment in a girl's life or a woman's life that is so... I don't even know how to explain it, but it crushed me. But with the fact that I was going through this process, I managed to realize that in as much as this man has not said anything to me, in as much as he has not sat down with me, everything that is making me cry, it's things that I think about. Because I thought to myself, he doesn't love me. Okay. He didn't protect me. Yeah. I'm not worthy of his love. So it means I'm not worthy to be loved. Yeah. You know, I'm abandoned, you know. And one day I was sitting there and I was thinking to myself, because that's when I learned what thoughts do, because you think a thought, and the thoughts that you think, you feel from it, and the moment that you feel, you want to act it out, you act the feeling out. So it starts there. And one day I just sat with myself, and I was in my state, I was crying, and I realized, but this guy has not said a word to me. Yeah. Why am I doing this to myself? And I realized that was my thoughts. And as you say, I could have been depressed, except I was not diagnosed. Sure. But with what was happening in my life and the spiral going, I was not in a good state. So it was actually depression. Yeah. So, but my mental state was there because of the thoughts that I had. And the thoughts that I heard now started running my life, because I could cry any minute. I could be morose from nothing. Yeah. And that's when I decided, if I can do this, make myself cry like this, I can actually turn this around. And I can actually make myself happy. Oh, nice. So I don't need this man. I don't need a particular individual to actually make me the person that I want to become. You can just start here. Exactly. And that's when I thought, wow, I can go out and teach people this. Okay. So, and that's where the journey started. Okay. Yeah.
There's a statement that says, change your thoughts, change your mind, change your life. Yeah. And basically you just had to change your mind.
I had to change my thoughts. I had to change my thoughts.
Well, we're talking about a healthy mind and a healthy body. To the viewers out there, they want to say, how do I now start having a healthy mind? What is it that I need to do to start really getting the grasp of having a healthy mind and not allow my thoughts to run me?
It's very interesting that you're asking that question, because everybody's talking gratitude now. Yes. And in as much as we are talking gratitude, I don't think we are telling people what to do. So it would be really beneficial for an individual that is sitting there and saying, then how do I get to run my mind? Because you can tell your mind what to do by writing things down. Okay. So if you feel grateful and you write down the things that you feel grateful about, your mood is going to change. And the beautiful thing about the mind is when you feed it beautiful things, it's going to show you beautiful things. Okay. When you feed it junk, it's going to see junk. You see, that's the beauty of the mind.
So I'm in control, basically.
So you are
I'm
in control of
basically what I want to see out there.
Remember, the function of the mind is one, is to protect you.
Okay.
But in it protecting you, it can actually harm you.
Tell me more.
Because think about it this way, an example that I can give you. If you tell yourself today, I'm going to start exercising, and you never exercised before, but you want to start because you want to lose the weight.
Sure.
And Happy Feet says, okay, come to my program. We're going to do 30 burpees or 30 jumping jacks. And then you do your 30 jumping jacks, and then you say, okay, let's run. And then your mind starts saying, no, but this is not something that we are used to. Immediately your body is going to say, no, ways, I'm tired. You know? Yes. Immediately your body is going to say, no, I'm tired. Because your mind is now saying, but this is new territory. Why are you going there?
So our mind is used to comfortability.
Yes. So your mind gets used to what you do on a daily basis.
However, I can change that.
You can stretch it, and the beauty is that once it's stretched, it doesn't come back.
Tell me more. Once it's
stretched, it doesn't come back.
Okay.
So if you're not a runner and you start running with her, chances of you stopping because she's not there are very slim.
Okay.
Because your mind has gotten used to the routine.
So is that how you create a habit then?
That's how you create a habit.
So is it true though that it takes about 21 days? Would you agree 21 days?
I do not agree to the 21 days. It's very short.
Okay.
It's very short.
Okay. All right.
So I would actually say 60 to 90 days. Okay. You can be able to change your habit. 21 days, no, unless
in fitness,
Coach Bonky knows something else. But for me, the 21 days I haven't seen being really something that works for a lot of people. Okay. Yeah.
Right. So just to jump into the 21 days thing, there are habits that are there are routines that are very easy to do.
All right.
There are ones that are not.
Yeah.
Really, it can take you 21 days to know that when you wake up in the morning, you have to brush your teeth, and when you sleep, you have to brush your teeth. So there are those things that you are quick to do, but there are those ones that are very difficult. And the challenge that you put yourself into, the difficult is going to take your mind to change because it's not used to that. It's just like when you say, I'm not going to eat for like 3 days, I'm going to drink water. The first day, you're feeling like rubbish.
Oh, dizzy. You're feeling like
and the second day is a little bit better. The third day, that's where magic happens. It's like, oh, I can
live like this, basically.
You know? So that's like that. It just depends on where you are also in terms of the fitness in that thing. Now, the healthy mind and the healthy body, and what is it that people would do. When I came back from the mental hospital, all that I wanted to do or not wanted to do is to take antidepressants because I was like, so now I am categorizing myself as one of the people who are depressed. What else can I do to be different from how people, and it can be very lonely coming back. Talking about the mind, you were told there that, okay, you are sick like this, you've been there for like maybe 3 weeks and you've been getting antidepressant. Now, you are not sure whether when you operate during the day and do whatever, you are doing those because of the antidepressants, or you're doing that because it's your free will and willpower. And then when I got home, I'm like, going on, let me stop this because I don't want to throw more pity parties. What else can I do? What I found out is that obviously exercising, I was doing exercising before going there. But before going to the mental hospital, I could tell that I cannot relate to the exercises that I'm doing and how I want them, the intention that I want them to make me feel. Now, there are a lot of people who have muscles and everything, but they go to the gym because it's a drug, right?
Jeez,
we all have.
that is so much interesting, and I want to hear more all about it as we come back from the break, guys. So we're going to talk more about what Happy Fitness is saying, right? We're coming right up. Welcome back. Coach Happy Fit, you were saying something interesting. Please just continue talking about your story.
Okay. So I then came back from the mental hospital. I said, I do not want to use antidepressants. So I needed then to have a kind of a routine, something that I'm going to use out of me saying I'm living something. So here's the thing about the habits. People, they want to adopt new habits. People, they want to drop old habits without having the new ones. I always say that you do not want to drop old habits. Let the old habits leave, but start doing something new.
Okay.
As you do something new, it takes away the old things. And then the new thing, because it becomes more interesting to you and you're doing it over and over again, and you see yourself no longer doing the old thing that you don't like doing.
I get you.
So people would then have food that they eliminate sweets and everything, but there is nothing that they put in that place intentionally to say, I want to replace this, but not to say I'm leaving that. In a way, you want to leave it, but you don't want to just drop it, because there will be a lot of, what do you call, withdrawal symptoms and everything, and you go back and you're like, I can't do it.
Do you think diet is good though? Like you have a whole lot of diet, your paintings. Do you think diets are good?
Diet, what we eat is a diet. Going into a specific food, whatever, we call it a diet for lack of a better. But let's just say it's then a diet. But diet is what we eat anytime, whether you're eating a special, that's a diet. Right? But then people, they think that a diet is something that you have to, it has to do with health and everything. But what people do, like the habits, they are used to eating spatlo and everything. They decide, I'm not going to eat spatlo, but what are you doing instead of you not eating that? And how are you feeding your body, nutrition-wise and everything? One thing that could actually help people when they want to go on a diet and everything is when they say, I don't want to cut caps on everything, nothing is a devil. You make it, and how you eat it and when you eat it, then it becomes that thing that is wrong. Including everything that you have to your veggies, your fruits, and your protein is very important for your well-being. You don't want to eliminate things. So that's where diet, they become so strict. Then what I then did, one of the things that I went to the gym now knowing that I want to question myself. If I were to pick up a weight that is a little bit heavy, I'll be saying, Bongi, you've been picking up a lot of people when they were down.
Wow.
There are people waiting here. They want to see if you can be able to pick that. Look at the weight, and I'm like, this is you. Pick yourself up. Again, not a lot of people would be able to do that, but you always need to find your way. I always say to people, we can go into a program and be taught on how to maintain whatever a morning routine or a routine or get out of whatever habit. But you have to make yours interesting, and it must talk to you. I grew up being an active person, and the only way that I can beat all my demons is when I go to the road. It's when I'm free. I go to the mountains. It's when I exercise, because that's when I can be able to beat the voices that says you are not good enough. You are this. You are not lovable. You are. So that's why. So all in all, what she's doing, Connie, and what I do and what I had to go through is actually one of those things that they get to be together, because somehow, because I work more on saying your mind can also be fit, just like your body has to be.
So they work together. They work together.
Look, you cannot you cannot do anything or even change a habit without a decision.
Okay, a choice.
You know, a choice is something else because you can choose but not decide. You know, so once your decision is made, because you must realize that sometimes we want certain things because we see certain things. So I can see her and say, you know what, now I'm going to start exercising because I love her body. I love how she looks and whatnot. And because I'm listening to her, I'm thinking it's doable.
Yeah.
You know, and I can choose to do that, but I have not decided.
Okay.
It's something that
wish for.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I have not decided. The decision is going to come the moment that I take the step.
Okay.
And what is that step?
Yeah.
If the step is me calling her, it means I have made a decision. So, and I have been seeing Happy Fit on Facebook, but I have not made a decision that I'm going to do this and I'm going to work with her. But I could have been checking her body out, checking some of the things that she's doing, and I'm thinking, this is nice, this I can do. But I have not made that decision.
Sure.
Yeah. You know, and going back to what she was saying about diets and food plays a huge role in how the mind works as well.
Okay.
Earlier you were talking about how do I then run my mind?
Yeah.
You know, we talk about food that raise vibration, and those would be some of your fruit, vegetables, and then you have those food that are going to make you slouch. You know, so exactly, you just feel, you know, like now it's winter, we want those comfort food. You see, because you don't want to get out of your comfort zone. You want to just be here. So it gets to that point where it's very important, as she was saying earlier, about intention. Because you have to set an intention. And when the intention is made, an intention will go hand in hand now with the same decision that I was talking about. When the intention is set, you are going to be able to open your fridge and take an apple instead of last night's pizza.
Hey, it's not easy though.
You know, but when the decision is made, you will be able to do that. When the decision is made, you will be able to wake up at 6 o'clock and go for her class.
So it's all about being intentional.
It's intentional.
I gotta be intentional.
It's being
I
intentional.
wanna eat healthy. Therefore, when I open the fridge, pizza.
And the beauty of the mind is it works because the mind works with us. You can tell your mind prior to sleep that you want to wake up at 6 o'clock.
Sure.
And you'll be able to wake up at 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
That's the intention that you set. You set the intention prior to going to sleep. And something will happen at 6 o'clock that will make you wake up.
I hear you. But have you realized that we mostly do the things that we don't want to do? And I want to understand from the mindset side, what makes us do the things that we don't want to do? Like I could say that I want to go to the gym, but in the morning, I'll be like, nah, not today. You know, and again, you find yourself doing the things that really I don't want to do, but I find myself doing them. How do I set an intention in my mind to say, mind today, I shall do this? How do I do that?
It's a very good question.
Yeah.
I have a lot of people who are like that. It's never about the exercise.
Okay.
It's never about the food.
Yes,
it's never about you not wanting to eat, to drink the way.
Okay.
It's your lack of willpower. What is it that you're longing for and you can't? Now, I've in my journey, and currently I'm actually healing and helping people because I've gone through that. These things, they started from the childhood traumas and all the things that we've gone through.
Tell me more.
You not loving yourself, you not doing the thing that you're supposed to do. Instead, you do something else and you beat yourself about it. You know, long time ago, you used to have a mother who was abusing you when you don't finish your food. For example, And when they start doing that, now you grow up being a person who says, I need to finish my food in a plate. Where is your mother? Your mother maybe is gone.
Okay.
You are now a big girl. You're supposed to be taking care of yourself. You know exactly what this food does to you, but you don't. And maybe my mother used to make you eat veggies that don't really sit well with you, like your green, beans. Some of the beans that would make you have heartburn, like on my side. Then you eat those things because you grew up at home eating them. There are people who still staunch into eating the things and doing the same because you grow up now saying, I have never been loved enough. I want to love myself either by doing more for other people who don't care. While my cup is not full, I'm taking away from my cup, I give it to other people, or I'm going around looking for love that is not there before I can actually say, I need to love myself first. Now, what does even loving yourself mean? It means that you're not going to eat the right food because the love is not there for you. Okay. Because if you love yourself so much, you're going to be able to say, a day I need to go walk, or a day I need to do. It's not even a lot, 30 minutes. 30 minutes goes like, before you know it, it's like gone while you're busy scrolling on your Facebook. It's all about the willpower. What is it that you want to do? And what are the beliefs that you have in you that are ingrained, and you have to go back and really, really work on those.
On that note, guys, it's more like I'm sensing something of saying that some of us need to heal from what happened to us in the past. On that note, we are coming right up. Welcome back, guys, to the studio. It was very interesting. Coach, happy with, okay, what you just said now is more like you're saying that we need to find a bit of a healing from what happened back then. If I'm a viewer at home right there, what tip can you help me with to say that maybe what I'm feeling, it is linked to that incident that happened in the past? What can I do?
Yes, so I'm going to give an example about myself. I went to the mental hospital because I thought that all my life I was supposed to be a boy. And what does it mean being a boy? Yeah. Being a boy is somebody who's strong. And I'm supposed to be feminine as they come. So what happens then there is that you go all out, giving out energy and giving out everything that you have to people, doing everything and making sure that everybody is happy, but not you, right? Yeah. So there are these things that happen to us, whether they were told by our fathers and mothers while we were still in our mother's homes, you know. As you know that these things, they get transferred. If your mother was in her mother's womb and something was said, they get to take some of that, you know, with them. And some of these, they get to be in you as well as a person and so on and so on. So I grew up thinking that I'm supposed to be a boy. And I had to go out and help a lot of people and do things like, I remember when I had to hold on to a relationship for a long time, going back and forth because I thought that I can still fight, I can make it happen. Okay. You know, when you are Ukapadia, you want to build, bring in the cement and the sand and everything. But when then I started healing, what I did is to actually cry myself to let it to sleep or to
crying
wake
is healthy.
up.
Crying is good.
Yeah. Crying is very good. It is actually, you know, healing starts when you become aware that, hang on, I've been doing a lot of things. I've been doing a lot of things for other people. What have I done for me? If these people were not to be around, what is it I'm going to say I stand for as a person? What do I do? Then you start then to say, oh, what else can I do? Then you start even writing down, like Connie was saying here, that, you know, journaling, writing things down so that you start to piecing these puzzles and start remembering all these things that you have done that were not good. And then they actually just go back to how you were treated as a kid, whether you were there when these things were said or you were not there at all. Because we all hear, even if we
we're still in the
exactly. We all hear these things and we take them out. So that's where and that's the very difficult thing, because it's not a masculine thing. like, I'm strong. It's a very feminine thing. Crying, guys, and people who are more masculine, they always say, you don't cry, which is a wrong thing.
Men don't cry.
So it's all about, knowing, awareness, and also writing things down, and maybe finding a coach who can actually assist you into getting into knowing, because there are a lot of these beliefs that they don't mean anything, but they are just there. I normally say that in your mind, there are a lot of folders that are there. And then your mind just say, oh, it's abuse. Oh, it's there.
Yeah.
So everything that you do, it's not about you do in the surface what you do. It's because there is a folder that says, this is what happened long time ago, until you go to the folder and get to attach in the folder something better and something new. You will never change.
Okay, that's great. Coach Connie, from a mindset point of view, how do I now have that healthy mind, not letting my past experiences to hinder me all over again? Because we're talking about the habit. If the mind is used to comfort, it shall just be stuck on comfort. Now, how do I now go back to my past and try to erase it? Can I erase it, or can I just...
But you see, this is where the power of the subconscious comes in.
Yeah.
When she talks about awareness, the process of awareness is when your subconscious bring up an issue that has been embedded in it. It brings up to your conscious mind. And the minute your conscious mind picks it up, that's when awareness happens. So you can only work on things that your subconscious has brought up. So what needs to happen is we need to find out what are the belief systems, as she was saying, what are the belief systems that are embedded in your subconscious mind. And when we know, and the only thing we can know, it's by sitting down with a coach. It's by sitting down with somebody who's going to ask you questions. And with coaching, it helps because you ask questions that are going to be triggers.
Sure.
Because something that is not a wound is not going to trigger you. So you are triggered because there's a wound.
There's something. I get you.
Because there's a wound. So the minute your subconscious brings up the wound to your conscious mind, then the awareness happens. And when the awareness happens, then you're like, okay, what do we do about this? And this is when you need to now start working on it. Some things are not as easy as we say them here. As she says, it's memories from when you were 5 years old. It's memories when you were 2 years old. But you also need to realize that when you went through trauma and you were not healed, you could still be living the trauma that you had when you were 2 years old as a 42-year-old adult. Because you have not worked through it, and it has not come into your awareness in your conscious mind for you to be able to do that. So the process is remembering. The process is remembering. And sometimes the remembering can happen. Look, there is a remembering that is intentional, and there is a remembering that is not so intentional. And because it's not intentional, it's not pleasant. And even the intentional one can be pleasant, because if I ask you questions about things that trigger you, they're going to make you cry, which is where the release is happening, which is now where the healing is starting. But the other, it could be somebody that is going to come into your life. As she was saying, you would want to fight for a relationship that is not working. It could be somebody that is in your life that is showing you parts of you that you feel you do not want to actually look into.
Don't take me there.
When you say, they're bringing out the worst out of me. There are people that are bringing out the worst out of... What is the worst? Because it's there. They're bringing it out because it's there.
It's there,
you know? So your unintentional... healing will be brought by people. Remember, people come into your life as mirrors. They are showing you
who you are.
So they will come into your life and bring that individual. But you need to pay attention. So the unfortunate part with a lot of us in life is that we are not taught to pay attention. So not paying attention to emotions, as you are saying, not paying attention to those things that are being projected and those that we are projecting. Not paying attention to everything that is happening around us is a message, and it could be a message to, hey, do something about this. You've met Happy Feet. The message is that, girl, work on this.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah, sure.
But am I paying attention? Or even if it's not work with her, it's listen to what she's saying and do something about it.
Yeah.
You know, what is that diet? She just said a diet is not really
it's
diet.
what we
It's what you eat every day.
day.
So it could be saying to me, what is your diet?
Yeah,
Or, you know,
reflect.
Reflection.
Yeah, reflect.
You know,
Yeah.
So it's a process, coach. It's not something that you can do overnight, particularly if you want to change a habit. As she was saying, there are those that you can change. And I'm talking about habits from a mental state point of view. So those for me are the ones that I was actually saying to you, the 21 days would really be an illusion for those. But there are those habits that you can actually change quickly. But the trick is, do not listen to your mind, run your mind.
Yes.
So your mind is going to say, you cannot read a book in a week.
Yeah.
But you can tell your mind, we will do it. Intentionally so.
Yeah.
And the law of intentionality will help you to do it. Because the universe is beautiful like that.
It is indeed.
You know, so it's not just you here, but you also have the support of the universe.
That is amazing, guys. Yes, Happy Feet.
So,
you want to add on?
There's one thing that I want to say. She just said, do not listen to your mind. I'm really more of a crazy person. I normally say, when it comes to the food that you want to eat, like the food, you know, that nice food that you want to eat, listen, not that you listen to your mind, eat it with your mind.
Okay. It's an illusion in the mind.
Eat it there, like, I feel so good.
Chocolate.
Eat it with your mind. And then you come back and eat your bowl of salad. It's not. It's not. So, but the second thing that I wanted also to share is that I think as people who are more on autopilot, and depression, anxiety, and all the disorders, they love autopilot. They love when you just go. They know that they can just like run you, like she was saying that you need to run your mind. But how do you run your mind? Is to actually come to
in the present.
And start to ask yourself, is it okay to even answer? Is it okay to even respond to what the other person was saying? And then when you start to do that, and then when you start to question, because also, you know, you want to run your mind, but you cannot just say, oh, okay. You know, you want to say, okay, so what do you think? But there is this. I mean, I always say, my mind says this. I'm like, but dude, I mean, we have this as well. Duh.
You guys say this as if it's so easy.
But it's powerful what she's saying, in that your mind, as an organ, I believe it's there for a bigger purpose that we might not even realize it.
Okay.
As she says, you eat this thing in your mind. It's visualization.
Yeah, sure.
You know, and visualization takes you far.
Yeah.
You know, and when you visualize on that, you can even taste it.
Smell it.
Yeah, you can. You know, and you were asking earlier on, how do I then get myself to a point where I can say, I can make myself happy with the statement that I made earlier with regards to my dad story and all that. There is what we call, and people can Google that, there is what we call a 60 seconds exercise.
Okay.
60 seconds is very interesting. It's something that you can do when you wake up in the morning.
All right.
So you wake up in the morning and you think back. So, okay, I always say, you're supposed to think back, but I always say there are people that we are not the same. So there are people that visualize easily, and there are those that actually reminisce easily.
Okay.
So you can choose to reminisce depending on how good your mind is. You can either reminisce or you can visualize a beautiful, beautiful moment in your life. So it could be you were at your wedding, or you were at the best vacation that you've ever had in your life. Go back there.
Okay.
Go back there. Stay there.
All right.
The first 17 seconds, stay there for another 17 seconds, 34 seconds. When that happens, you attract a whole lot of other thoughts that are actually in duality with what you are thinking about. So if it's happy, you are going to actually attract all the happy thoughts. Everything that is aligned to happiness, it's going to come into your space at that time. Hence, I was saying earlier, when you're going to feed your mind happy stuff, it's going to show you happy things. So when you do that, your first 60 seconds as you wake up, you're guaranteed to have a better day.
Okay. So
and
it's
I'm
all
not
about
saying
focusing on
exactly
feeling good.
feeling good.
If I want to see the good
and bring
out there.
back to yourself a memory that has made you feel that
I
way.
get you.
Something that could be really, really exciting. Do not reminisce to something that is not so nice.
That is pain.
Because pain is going to bring more pain.
I get you.
So that's what you'll experience throughout your day.
Yeah.
But if you reminisce to something that is really, really exciting,
Yeah.
then you will attract all these exciting things throughout your day.
I am happy. So I have happy feet, and I have Coach Connie in the studio. You guys shared quite a mouthful, and yeah, I hope I've learned a lot so far from here, and I'm hoping also the viewers out there, they have learned a lot. Now, if I'm a viewer out there and I want to know how do I get hold of you, where are you guys available?
I have a Facebook page.
Okay.
It's a group, actually. It's called Image, Focus and Triumph. So I'm on Facebook as Connie Paswana.
All right.
So you can just look at me there. And then my Instagram, the Instagram one, it's Coach Connie Paswana. On WhatsApp, I'm on 071-516-7287. Thank you so much.
Where do we get hold of you?
People can find me on Facebook as Happy Fit Mungee. And I have a YouTube channel, Happy Fit Mungee, where they can find some exercises and a winter warmer challenge that we are doing. On Instagram as well, I'm also Happy Fit Mungee. I think I'm Happy Fit Mungee everywhere. But I have this other page, group. It's how to make happy fit moves. So it's all about, teaching people on how to balance their body, not just do a lot of other things more than the other, because we need to be in the balance.
Yes.
So yeah.
So guys, you've heard it all from our coaches in the studio. Thank you so much for being here. And I wish you all the success in whatever that you guys are doing. But I have learned quite a few things here in the studio, guys. I've learned that you gotta be focusing on the now for you to actually feel the vibration of the things that you want. I've also learned that you gotta be in awareness of what you are thinking, because of whatever that you're thinking, you're actually attracting and you're producing out there. So if I were you at home, I'll start paying attention to what I think, and I'll also pay attention to what I eat, because at the end of the day, we are what we eat and we are what we think. On that note here on Unleashing Your Potential, I hope you guys have been unlocked. I hope you guys have been unleashed, and I hope this will enhance your way of living. Until we meet again next time, goodbye.